So everyone, that was the New Horizons Band of Rio Rancho. Let's give them a hand again. Okay. This is a wonderful day. And this has been a long haul, a long time coming. And everybody can be seated. I've got introductions to do, and then I want to recognize special guests. And please bear with me, because I'm going to also recognize all of the sponsors and contributors to this park, because it was you that are here today that built this park, and you deserve to be recognized and to get credit for that. I want to say also, I want to recognize Cake Fetish. Bill Harris has donated these absolutely wonderful cakes back here. You'll have to look at them and take some photos, but enjoy the cakes after the ceremony. And also, we have handed out some flyers that the Rio Rancho Observer published for us. Talks about the park, and on the back side of it has a list of all the sponsors, $500 and more, that are listed on the back of the flyer. The Rio Rancho Observer put this in the newspaper, and they printed this for us, and they donated the entire thing, which was a huge donation to the community. This is an amazing day, and we're here to give thanks to all of you for helping bring this great park to Rio Rancho. This is your park, and if 1,000 people a day are any indication, more parks of this kind are needed throughout the state of New Mexico. From the day we opened this park, and you can look behind us, this is an average day at the park above. The park is just a park, but it's a unique park. Andy Hagman of House of Football told me a year ago when we were talking about a donation, the park is an amazing park. It's a phenomenon. Jay, the city of Rio Rancho should be proud of this park. It is a phenomenon. All-inclusive. This park is designed to be all-inclusive, which means no person is excluded from enjoying the park because of a physical or social barrier. To my knowledge, this is the first all-inclusive public park in the state of New Mexico. The park has full-service bathrooms with adult changing tables, a perimeter fence of the activity area with self-closing gates. People absolutely love the fact that the perimeter is fenced and the gates close behind them. And the kids love it also. We have accessible routes with striping and textured surfacing that identify for the areas for sight impaired. We have spatial accessible playing surface, 14 shade structures in the park so that people and children that are heat sensitive can come out and enjoy the facility. Adaptive outdoor fitness equipment, wheelchair swings, an inclusive water feature, sensory elements, art, music, and musical instruments. Play equipment that was selected by OTs, PTs, teachers, and children with disabilities. And a security system in the park that was donated that is something out of the space age, that we can keep the park safe, we can monitor things from a remote location, we can make announcements using our cell phones, and the park will talk to people after hours if they're into the park. It'll make announcements if they're in here after hours, and you feel like you're in the Hunger Games. I'm telling you, you got to come out here and experience it. It'll run you off. It'll scare you off, which is intended to do. I'd like to recognize Governor Susana Martinez. From the minute she heard about the park, she was a sponsor, and she was a supporter of this project from the very minute. And it meant so much to us here in Rio Rancho to have her support to get this project off the ground. Without her support and without the state's support, they were the largest financial contributor, this project would not have happened. And I'm so happy that Letty Martinez, the governor's sister, has joined her here today. Welcome, Letty. I want to recognize Mayor Greg Hall. The mayor, even before he was elected mayor, was at the groundbreaking. He's been behind this project from day one, and it's meant so much to us to have his support moving forward on this project. Thank you, Mayor. And I know Mayor Tom Swistak couldn't be here today, but I do want to recognize that he was mayor when the decision was made to move forward with this project, as well as James Hermenis, the city manager at the time. Jenny Riedel, right here, with everybody knows Jenny, president of the Park Above Foundation. Absolutely no way that this park could not have been done without Jenny. She brought the vision to Rio Rancho, and we're so happy she brought it forward. But also she backed it up with her persistence and her effort to make this park a reality. I want to tell you a story that the children in the park know Jenny. She's here all the time. They call her the park angel, and they think she sleeps here. And I'm not too sure if she doesn't. I want to recognize Representative Tim Lewis. Tim Lewis, again, was behind this project. This is his district, and he's here representing our entire New Mexico delegation. He's been behind this project from the very beginning, and without his efforts, we could not have accomplished this. He's going to speak a little bit more, but also want to thank all of our state representatives and all of our state senators who supported this effort in this project. We have a current city councilor here, Councilor Don Robinson. Councilor, thank you so much for being here. Our current and past councils have been instrumental in bringing this park to Rio Rancho, and we really, really appreciate the support that we have received from current and past councils. And I know Tamara Gutierrez is here, a past city councilor, current city councilor. also representing Intel. But thank you, Tamara, for your support on this project. I think maybe Sandoval County Commissioner Nora Scherzinger is here, but she said she might be here. I'm not sure if she's here. I know Commissioner Donnie Leonard is here. He's a prior commissioner, supported this project. Donnie, thank you. The county was a contributor, financial contributor to this project, as well as helping us during construction. So we thank the county, we thank the county commission, the Sandoval County Commission. We also thank the county staff, Phil Rios and Tommy Mora. And we have also here today Sandoval County Treasurer Laura Montoya. Laura, thank you for being here today. I'm going to tell you a secret about Phil Rios. If you go asking for money and it's something that has to do with kids, he's probably going to give you some money. Phil has a little soft spot for kids, and Tommy Moore, the director of the County Public Works, was just amazing in helping us in however we needed help today. When we first started this project, the entire congressional delegation sent us a letter. The entire New Mexico congressional delegation signed in support of this project. Today we have here with us today Bill Woolman from Tom Udall's office. Thank you, Bill, for being here today. I want to also recognize our Parks and Recreation commissioners that are here today, and our commission was behind us from day one on this project with tremendous support. And we have Commissioner Barger here. Thank you, Commissioner. And Commissioner White. Thank you, Commissioner. A lot of people, huh? They all helped. They all helped. Village of Los Ranchos de Albuquerque, Councilor Mary Holman. Thank you for being here today, Mary. She wears another hat. I'll mention that in a minute. When Keith Reesberg, our city manager, took over as city manager, we had already kind of started this effort. And Keith got behind this project. He never wavered in his support. And Keith, thank you so much. It meant so much for staff to have your support moving forward with this project. And Deputy City Manager John Craig, John kept asking me, Jay, we need to get the park done. What can I do to help? And he meant it. So John was a big help. I also want to recognize the Rio Rancho Police Department. They have been tremendous. The officers care about this park. They're here every day. They're here to protect the park, and they respond immediately when we have a problem. And they're keeping it safe, and they're keeping it nice for us. So I thank the Rio Rancho Police. I got to tell you, we had to do some of the work in-house with city crews. My own Parks and Recreation staff did a lot of work in here to stay within budget. But our Public Works Department also, when it came down to crunch time, they mobilized and they came in and they did so much for us in this project. So I can't go without thanking Scott Sensenbauer and Jason Gallegos in the Public Works Department for the help that they gave us on this project. The Park Above board members, Jenny is the president, but we have a tremendous board. Lorraine Alohan, Jamie Villanueva, Jerry Reeder, Alex Weimer, Tracy Valdespino, Sandra Atwood, Ben Vigil, Betty Stout, Lucy Jocelyn, Lou Riedel, and Kelly Billings. If you would all just stand up and be recognized. if you're ever going to do anything like this and raise as much money as we raised for this project and as much support, you've got to have a foundation, a nonprofit involved like we had. I can't thank this nonprofit, this group of individuals enough for helping us build this park, because they went out and they raised the money, they got the volunteers, and they were just absolute tremendous help. This park is as much a success, it belongs to them as it does anybody. So thank you to the board members of the Park Above nonprofit. Believe it or not, we even got the Southern Sandoval County Arroyo Flood Control Authority involved. They helped us, and believe it or not, we got the Albuquerque Metropolitan Authority Flood Control Authority involved, and they helped us with some work on the project. The Rio Rancho Public Schools, just a tremendous help from day one. Dr. Sue Cleveland was behind this project. She understood the importance of the project. She understood what it meant. Her and her staff, and Gary Tripp is here today. Gary, where are you at? Gary Tripp is here back there. Their students were involved, their teachers were involved, they raised money for the project. The teacher, Maggie Robinson from the Mountain View Middle School, and 100 students did the mural back here you see behind us on that century wall over there, which is an absolutely amazing mural. They got a grant from the Rio Rancho Educational Foundation, and the students did it, and it's called A Mural, A Dream Come True, and we thank them for that gift to this park. Our landscape architects, Chris Green and Lori Fire. Chris Green, Lori Fire, are you here? Chris Green back there. Look around. They designed it. They designed it, they bid it low, and they kept donating. And Lori, the architect, she kept telling me, Jay, we got to put food on the table too. And the amount of donations, they probably did it for half of what the cost really was. Just an amazing job, Chris. Project engineer from Hewlett Zollers, our local engineering firm, Jared Leiker, they donated to the project. Our general contractor, where is Todd and Glenn Benedetto back there in the back? Rio Rancho contractor, and they bid the project low. They wanted to keep what they say, the job in-house here in Rio Rancho. They got involved in the project, they bid it low, and then they started donating to the project. The bathroom facilities back behind us, they were a huge contributor. Matter of fact, Todd, they pulled the permit for us. The entire bathroom was donated. BCL Construction, Todd and Glenn were major contributors to that. Jenny says, and their children. But they care about this. I know they feel like this is their park. They feel like it's special, and they can continue to give back to the community every single day. They did an outstanding job building this park, so thank you, guys. Donations came in the way of cash, in-kind services, materials, labor, and volunteer help. The list that I'm about to read includes donations, some donations that are over $100,000 from a single company to $5,000, and I'm going to start with the highest donations to the lower levels. And I'm sorry, I'm going to take some time, because when we went and asked for donations, we had to tell people we were going to recognize them. that they were special and that we appreciated them. And so I think it's important that we do recognize all of these people because they helped build this park. They own the park, just like all of you here today. This is your park. Okay, so the state, the city of Rio Rancho, and Sandoval County all contributed. And in addition to that, our corporate sponsors, Sandia National Labs and Lockheed Martin, stepped forward early, gave us money. Tammy Tapia, I don't know if she's here today. And I'll just go through the list, guys, and then you can applaud at the end because there's a lot of them. Intel, Tamara Gutierrez is here representing Intel, and Liz Shipley, I don't know if she's here or not, a very large contributor to this. Presbyterian Healthcare Services, thank you for your donation. I know we have Angela Ward here today, I saw her, and thank you to Jim Hinton and Clay Holderman. They're a true partner in this project. Public Service Company of New Mexico, Diane Ogawa is here. And I know there's another representative, I didn't get it written down. But thank you to P&M. If it wasn't for P&M, we wouldn't have this great outdoor adaptive fitness equipment over here. We got a Power Up grant. So thank you so much to Intel, or to P&M. Waste Corporation of America, Ernie Byers, he was going to try to make it by today. Thank you, Waste Corporation of America. Alon 7-Eleven, Karen Roberts, Cable One, AT&T, Terry Nicole Baca, New Mexico Gas Company of New Mexico, Mary Holman that I introduced to you earlier, and Tom Dome. Hewlett Packard, HP, Damian Valdespino is here, and Yvette Everhart is here with us today from HP. Thank you for your donation. The Walmarts were fabulous. They all came together within the region, and a good percentage of all the Walmarts gave us money for this project. And then they came out and donated to help us build the park. Sam's Club donated, and then they had volunteer days at the park. Best Buy made a donation. We're standing, I'm going to recognize the Rotary Club, Rio Rancho Rotary Club, and we're standing right now in what has been identified as the Rotary Pavilion, or the amphitheater here in the park. Rotary made it a mission to raise money and to come out and help us get this park done. And they raised thousands and thousands of dollars in donations. This amphitheater is dedicated to Ed Peoples. Ed made a $20,000 donation to the Rotary Club of Rio Rancho. They voted to put that money towards this project, and they raised the rest of the money to get this amphitheater completed, as well as helping us with the bathroom facilities. They got a donation from Granger Industrial Supply. They got the Rio Grande Rotary Club also participated, and the Del Norte Rotary Club also participated in raising money and helping us. And it was like weekend after weekend, Rotary Club would show up out here at the park, and they would do work to help us build this park. Carrie Tingley Hospital Foundation, Jeff Hohen, Executive Director, and Adam Trullo and Erica Swan is here from their, Adam and Erica are here from their foundation, their board. Jeff is the Executive Director of the Carrie Tingley Hospital Foundation. They made a substantial donation also to this project. Rio Rancho Chamber, Paul Berby is here. Thank you, Rio Rancho Chamber, for your support. NAMI, Marilyn Salzman, NAMI provided funding. The Moms Club was out here on numerous weekends helping us to build this park. the Boy Scout Troops of America, Eagle Scouts. We had 3 Eagle Scout projects out here at the park helping us to build this park. United Way of Central New Mexico. Individual private donations. I want to recognize Yvonne, Bill, and Chris Joyner. Yvonne, Bill, and Chris Joyner are in the audience somewhere here today. So they have a company, a construction company, but also, unfortunately, tragically, during the construction of this park, Bill's dad, Robert Gab Joyner, passed away. And the Joyners asked that the contributions that people want to give in Gabby's name go to the park. And they raised a substantial amount of money in Gabby's name. And we're going to do a dedication in the next few weeks over here at the sand play area. Because Bill said, I kept looking at that area and it looks like, you know, like a construction area. And that's what Gab would have liked. So they not only helped us build the park, but they also made a substantial donation in Gabby's name. Thank you, Joiners, very, very much. I think most of you know Julian Garza. He owns a few McDonald's. Julian made a cash donation. Get this one, guys. Jenny and Lou Riedel, we've already talked about Jenny and all she does. And of course, Lou, thank you for sharing her with us. And it's not over yet, Lou. They were married last year? Yeah, they were married last year. They, instead of buying wedding gifts, they told people, give us money for the park. So all that they raised during their wedding, they contributed to the park. Corrine Hamilton and her mother, Virginia Fulberg, gave us a substantial donation, just a large cash donation. It went toward the butterfly benches. All these beautiful butterfly benches you see, they contributed towards the construction of those. Joaquin and John Fertig, large cash donation. The Dugan family made a contribution in memory of their daughter, Megan, who passed away. And it went towards the double slides that you see over on the park on the hill. Those are dedicated in memory of Megan. Roger Nagel, CPA, made a huge donation. Okay, now we're going to get into the businesses and the companies, and I'm going to try to move a little bit quicker here, but again, they deserve to be recognized. BCL Construction, again, thank you. You are the largest donation to the project. RMCI Inc. and partners. RMCI came in and they did all the underground infrastructure, the water, the sewer, the storm drain infrastructure. Their partners, Ferguson Waterworks, Four Rivers Equipment, HD Supply, Complete Concrete and Excavating, All American Precast, Golden Equipment, made a large donation to get this project going. Joyner Construction, who I mentioned before, Bill Joyner stood by this project from day one, and I just can't believe he didn't turn his phone off when I was calling, because I was calling him all the time for help. But every time I called Bill Joyner, he came over and helped with the project. It was major. Forever Lawn and Just Sprinklers, a local business. They're the turf provider in the park, and they made a huge donation. HEI, Neil Hurd, from a security company. When we were building the project, we got a little vandalism early on the project, and Channel 7, I think, reported it. And 2 security companies stepped up, HEI Inc. and Seaview stepped up, and I know Rick Beichler is here also. and Neil Hurd from HEI. We have an amazing security system in this park, absolutely amazing, and there's no way we could have afforded this. No way we could have put this in. Complete donation by these two companies, and this is state of the art. Star Paving paved the parking lot for free. Bixby Electric wired the bathrooms in phase 2 and donated that. Sundance Mechanical donated the plumbing on the bathroom facility. Highway Supply did all the parking bumpers and all the striping on the parking lot and all the signs. These are total donations. Valley Fence Company, I think Paul and Tyler Chavis are here today. Valley Fence Company created, designed, and built this amazing fence. And guys, these self-closing gates, you don't see these many places. They work. They work. They did an outstanding job. AUI Inc., Adam Trullo, all the boulders you see in the park were donated. There's tens of thousands of dollars worth of boulders in this park were all donated by AUI. Extra Play Landscape Structures, Dan Gardner donated play equipment and his expertise. Kiewit, New Mexico donated asphalt. Metro Landscape Services, Charlie White is here with his son over here. I know, you must know Charlie. This guy came out and week after week helped us with the landscaping. He has a small business, Metro Landscape Services, and it was just unbelievable. Thank you, Charlie. Land Advisory Organization, more gravel and boulders. Ron Montoya Design. Ron Montoya donated the design for the bathrooms. Daniel Family Funeral Services is, and I just want to mention to you, if you bought a brick, these nice little granite bricks, just hold on, they're being made. I know Daniels is working on it. They're donating all these bricks. So people who paid $75, 75? Jay said now it's $150. It went up, so you missed it. You missed the discount. They're going on these columns over here, the friendship columns. We have about 180 of them sold, and Daniel's family funeral home had to ship these in from out of the country or something, but they're donating all of them. So the money that was paid for out of your pocket for the bricks went in to build this park, not to make the bricks, which is a great thing. JPR Gravel and Roadrunner Ready Mix, thank you so much. That wonderful retaining wall that you see over there that's made out of recycled concrete. They basically sold them to us for next to nothing and brought them out to the park, and so they donated in other ways. Local contractors, Mountain State Contractors, Southwest Block, J.D. Carroll and Barbara Hatch, thank you so much. They donated every single block that you see in this park, and there's quite a bit of them, they donated to us. Rayleigh Homes, Scott and Jeff Grady and Adam Thornton. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. Affordable Service, Bohannon Houston, Champion Trust, Coyote Gravel Projects, Harris Jewelers, House Max, Keegan and Claudia Clay, House of Football, who I mentioned. Thank you for your donation. Andy and Sue Hegman. Thank you. Hewlett Zollers, I mentioned them. Innovative Custom Contracting and Enchanted Solar, John Bodnar and David Baca. The roof on the bathroom, they came out and put it on for us. We didn't pay anything for them to put that roof on. Materials Inc. and Buildology, sand for the sandbox. Metal Depot, the metal for the roof. Metalworks, a lot of the welding, the butterflies you see in the park. New Mexico Aggregates, a lot of the crusher fine that's in the park they donated. Play LLC, Play Safe LLC, Playwell and Playworld, all the playground equipment manufacturers made a donation to this project. They all wanted to be part of this. David Perry, Perry Supply, Redland Mechanical, Vulcan Material Company, TCL Plumbing and Utility, Rocky Mountain Stone, Rio Rancho Observer, thank you, I mentioned you before, the Response Group, and Drains Plus, a small contractor, helped us with the bathrooms. Also want to mention Edit House Productions. Thank you for the marketing. Thank you for the great video, Ed Smith, that you guys produced that helped us promote the park. Cliff Dwellers Digital, Richard Holcomb, thank you so much for helping with the project, the marketing that you provided, and the contacts that you shared with us contributed to the park. Clear Channel Outdoor, Eric Swan is here. Thank you. Clear Channel also donated billboard time for us to raise money. I also want to recognize Bo Johnson, Rick Squire here today, back there from Curb North. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have this property here. They deeded the property over to the city as part of the Cabazon construction project, and they're here in support of this today. We appreciate that, guys. The technical advisory team, this park was 7 years in the making, 5 years in development, 2 years in construction. I just have to recognize our technical advisory team because they were so instrumental in the design. Rio Rancho Public Schools Special Education Department, Life Roots, the ARC of New Mexico, ARCA, New Mexico Health, Exercise, and Sports Sciences, Abrazos Family Support Services, Center for Self-Advocacy, Governor's Commission on Disability, and I know they have representatives here today. Jim Hay is here. Sandia National Lab, Science and Technology, Presbyterian Hospital, Child Life and Occupational Therapy, Carrie Tingley Hospital Foundation and CP Parents Association, Adelante Development Center, UNM Center on Disability Autism Program, UNM School of Medicine, Center for Disability and Development, New Mexico Autism Society, School for the Blind. With that many experts involved, we had to get it right, obviously. I know I probably missed some folks. I know there's people here that have helped. We have had hundreds of contributors, hundreds, that gave $1, that gave $10, that gave $100, that came out, hundreds of volunteers, hundreds that made this possible. We want to thank all the people, all the volunteers that helped with this to get us to the point here today. Okay, without further ado, I'm going to ask Mayor Greg Hall to come up and say a few words.
Well, good afternoon. What a beautiful day, isn't it? To come out here and celebrate the opening of a park here in Rio Rancho. And I just want to tell everybody, we are not paying these children to be here. They're here voluntarily, I guarantee you that. They're not being constrained. And, although there is a fence around the park, I just want everybody to realize you really don't feel fenced in, but it creates a nice protective perimeter around the park here. It makes everybody feel safe, but you don't feel fenced in. It feels very open and very free. And before we go too much further, I know Jay recognized a lot of people, but the man behind the scenes has been working this from day one, Jay Hart. Let's hear it for Jay Hart. This guy has just been working and working tirelessly, and he does it without thanks. He does it without being asked. Jay Hart. Well, with that, once again, it's a strong welcome to a park above. And let me be very clear, this is not a park of disabilities, but a park of abilities. The ability to include everyone in the community. The ability to unite families that in other parks maybe could not play together, that now can play together. The ability to realize a vision of inclusiveness and and the ability to unite families through play. This is truly a park above all other parks. And with that, I say welcome and thank you to everybody who's contributed to this. Rio Rancho has a slogan called the City of Vision, and sometimes that slogan gets handed back to us. But today's one of those days where we get to hand that slogan out and use it in a true, definitive manner. Rio Rancho truly is a city of vision, creating a facility and a park and a space that really unites a community and brings a community together, and it's very forward thinking, it's very visionary, and this is a park above, and I'll tell you that much, and it really truly does. I'll tell you what, there are cities that are coming to us from around the country that are looking at this park saying, how can we have this? How can we create this? How can we replicate this in our communities? So right here, this park, with everything that has been put into it, is now being used as a best practices park, a way of bringing people together. No other park that I've seen around the country where I go to, where day in and day out, there's several hundred children in the park each and every day. It is just amazing. It's really wonderful when one of your greatest problems that you have is where do you park everybody? We have people walking from distances to get here to utilize the park. It's just absolutely amazing. The park truly is a symbol of our community's commitment to support its youth, its seniors, its individuals with disabilities, and enhance a quality of life and offer a quality of life throughout the community and throughout the region. Once again, a park above is not just a Rio Rancho park, it's an Albuquerque park, it's a Corrales park, it's a Bernalillo park. It is a true community park where we've seen people throughout the whole area come together to realize a vision, to put together something bigger and better than themselves. And I can tell you what, for each and every one of you that contributed something to this park, all you have to do is look back here and see these children playing and understand that everything you gave was worth 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times what you gave, because you're seeing it right there. It's being enjoyed, it's being realized, and it's because of what you gave. So I want to say thank you to the state and county officials. I want to say thank you to our governor. She played a huge role in getting this vision off the ground. And I'll tell you, in the beginning, it was a bumpy liftoff. There was a little bit of scrutiny involved in getting this park off the ground. But once we opened the doors and we saw the flood of joy and happiness that came in with all of these children, I'll tell you what, it was worth every bump in the road that we went through to realize this. And you know, Councilor Shelby Smith, who couldn't make it today, I want to recognize him as well, because if it weren't for his efforts that he put forward to get a little bit of additional funding, he spearheaded that, getting that through the city so that we could push this park through the home stretch and get the gates open and let these children in. And I'll tell you what, a park above is a perfect example of what can happen when private and public sectors come together to create something this great. And I'll tell you what, I just can't say it enough. I can't thank them enough to continue to thank Jenny Baca and Jay Hart for their tireless and just their persistent pursuit of seeing this dream become a reality. And so, as we've seen here today, there are already thousands flocking to this special park, and their lives have been made better because of it. And that is a testament to each and every one of your efforts, and a testament to the efforts of anybody and everybody that got involved in this park. And I do want to say, as mayor of this community, I'm so proud to have this as part of our city. I'm so proud and humbled to have a facility like this that speaks volumes to the region of what we can do when we all come together. There's already a huge demand to have another park like this. Where can we do another one like this? And I got to tell you, this park, it took a lot of effort on a lot of people to come together. And it's just amazing where when you open something like this and right away they say, how can we get our hands on another one? How can we do it again? How can we repeat it? How can we replicate it? That just shows you the tremendous demand and the tremendous support that we have for this now. And I'm just, like I say, I'm just humbled and proud to have this park in my community. And I want to thank each and every one of you once again. And I once again, just join me in saying thank you to Jenny and Jay for all of their work that they put into this. Thank you to everybody that contributed something to this. And I do want to say this one last thing too, is this park takes a lot of effort to keep up and running. And I know that the Park Above Foundation is continuing to raise funds for this park to help in the upkeep and operation. I would encourage you to continue being a part of this park, and if you haven't yet, I encourage you to be a part of this park in its ongoing success in helping the foundation in keeping up the maintenance and keeping up the pristineness that you see of this particular park right now. So I would encourage you to get involved in that way. But once again, thank you, and with that, it's my great pleasure and honor to introduce the governor of the great state of New Mexico, Governor Susana Martinez.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. I am really thrilled to be here. This is my sister Letty. Sometimes she's mistaken to be my mother. I keep telling everybody I get my hair color from a bottle. Otherwise, I think I just be sprayed. She's 2 years older than I am. But you know, you learn when you have a disabled loved one what is important to them. And what is so important to her when we were growing up, this sort of park would never have existed. What's amazing was that she always wanted to be with the other kids. And in those days, they had schools that were separated. They weren't integrated into the school systems. And so she loved to play with kids that were her cognitive age. So she was always with little 5 and 6 year olds in spite of the fact that she might have been 16, 18, or 20. And so it's so important, I think, to have this kind of a park where families can come and have fun, whether you have a child with a disability or don't, because then they get to be able to play together and have fun, enjoy each other, and there's a really better understanding. You know, Letty was pretty good in Special Olympics. And the one lesson I learned that was amazing, because I would volunteer for Special Olympics in the summer programs for kids with special needs, is they were doing a race one day and in track. And there was a young little girl, and she was blind. And what's interesting is they had a rope along the grass line, and they were going to run a short distance on the track. And I kept thinking, how is she going to run? Because she can't see. Well, they had a ring around a rope, and she just followed the tightness of that rope to go through. And Letty was in that race, and several of her friends. And she was obviously a little bit slower because she had to make sure she was feeling the tension of that rope. What was amazing was no one crossed the finish line until she caught up. And when she caught up, then they all crossed the finish line together. I mean, that's an enormous stuff. She's become quite the politician as well. She's been living with me for 11 years once my mother died. But it was something that we knew that would happen naturally without even having to discuss. That because I was her younger sister, yet I lived at home until I was 23 to help my mom. And my mom took good care of her until she was 71. And then she came to live with us. And so now she gets to enjoy wonderful people like you who had the vision to make sure that children of all ages and adults of all ages and all abilities can come and play in one place and help each other when they need the help and teach each other what it's like to be in one place that is this amazing. So thank you all for all of your contributions, all the things that you've done to make this such a wonderful place. And I'm sure Letty will walk up to you and shake hands and tell you who she is as she walks around the park. You know, Park Above was just an idea more than 7 years ago, and it was an ambitious undertaking. But I remember the first moment I heard about it, it was like, absolutely. We have to have something like this in New Mexico. And it was, you know, it was incredible to watch it grow over the years into something very real and a place where all children of all ages can play together. It's always feels good to accomplish something you're so passionate about. There was never a question that the state would support this sort of project. And it didn't matter whether there were naysayers or not. This is exactly, and I saw a friend of mine who works with me, his children come here and they play and he took pictures. I didn't know it had come so far. I had been back to Rio Rancho many, many times, but I had not come back to the park area when we broke ground, and I had just not seen how just amazing it is. So Letty and I are going to play in the park for a little while today. You know, that kind of inclusiveness is something that we strive for in our schools these days, which is a wonderful thing, in our neighborhoods and our state, but it's a real challenge and it demands innovation and a lot of effort. For those of you who are caregivers of your loved ones that may not have the ability to go to an ordinary park, Letty could never be on a regular swing. I mean, she just couldn't. And so she was never on a swing because they didn't have anything like that. I already caught her on the swing back there, and she loved it. I've got a great picture of her. But you all found in yourselves to put all the effort in, and you are reaping the rewards. This park was a huge project that involved so many people and so many big hearts. From planners and artists to donors and fundraisers to the thousands of volunteers who gave of their precious time to make this a reality. Like little Skylar Montano. You may remember her from her news last summer. She was only 4 years old, but she was on a mission to raise money for the park at her lemonade stand. Oh dear, this is New Mexico. Wait 15 minutes and the weather will change. But she was raising money from a lemonade stand, selling a cup of lemonade at a time to raise for this park. And of course, Jenny Riedel, the founder and president of Park Above board, this incredible park is her brainchild. It was just an idea, and then it was a plan, and today it's a reality. And now the kids of the community know Jenny, as was previously mentioned, as the Park Angel. I think that's an amazing, amazing. It truly is inspiring to see what can happen when so many individuals and businesses and charitable organizations come together to serve their community in such a special way. And the best part is that it's ongoing. Less than 2 weeks ago, at least 20 volunteers got up early to plant flowers and bushes here at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday, so it could be colorful and beautiful for the spring and for the event and for the children that are coming to visit this park. A Park Above will continue to enhance the immediate Rio Rancho community, but also our state community in so many ways. It will be a destination that will bring families of all abilities together in a place where they can have fun and make memories and new friends. And I think it will serve as a great model as more and more people across the country innovate to give families of all ages and abilities the ability to play together. So thank you, Park Above Board, for finding a way to make an amazing dream for our kids and our families to come to. We are so, so grateful for your hard work. Sometimes it's so much easier to give the money, but those of you that have put in the labor, actually donated to the facilities and, out of your own pocket, it is amazing, and I'm so, so grateful, and may every child enjoy this as much as my sister has already started to. This has now become one of her destinations. God bless you all.
Thank you, Governor. We certainly appreciate your support, and we certainly couldn't have done it without you. And Letty, we hope you have a great time in the park above. We know you will. She's going to do great. Next up, we're going to introduce State Representative Tim Lewis, who is a ardent advocate for the park and has worked tirelessly to see this vision come true as well. So at this point in time, I'd like to introduce Representative Tim Lewis.
Thank you very much for being here today, and thank you to all those kind words that Jay Hart had said. So many people to thank. And you know, for all of the great things that the governor has done for this state, this, in my opinion, is one of the best. And just want to thank her. You know, I lost count, but I think it's over $2 million that she's contributed just from her own personal capital outlay. So let's give her a big hand for that. And so I do want to point out some of those people that Jay mentioned, certainly my fellow legislators, senators, representatives, and in the House. We've, like the governor has said, for the last 7 years, this has been an idea, and Jenny is the mastermind behind it, along with many others. And we've seen the struggles up and down, but we're glad to be here today. And so I just want to thank them. A lot of people have put in different amounts of money. And so, you know, I just live right around the corner. My children are here today enjoying the park. We enjoy it at least once a week. I've got my wife, Jennifer, my beautiful wife, here on the front row today. We are both teachers. She's in Rio Rancho, I'm in APS. And so this is an opportunity for us to bring our students here, field trips and things like that, as well as enjoying it ourselves. Another group of people I'd like to thank is the artisans. If you walk around, certainly you can see different creative designs and colors, and just in the stone and the rock, the metal, everywhere that you go. My mother has been a lifelong artisan herself. She painted this beautiful blue butterfly right here for the Rotary Club. She's not able to be here today. She's at a graduation in Phoenix, but we're just so thankful that this time has come, and appreciate everybody being out here today. We're going to enjoy cake pretty soon and enjoy our kids playing. And so I would like to turn it over now to the mastermind, to Jenny Riedel. And so I'm going to let her go over many details that she's going to share with you right now. So thank you very much.
Before we give it to Jenny, I have to tell you, when we first opened the park, Jenny challenged me to a game of tetherball. Shamefully, she beat me to death. And I also want to say, I knew Jenny before she married Lou. Lou's been a good friend of mine for years, and I knew Jenny as Jenny Baca, and so I do want to apologize. Sometimes I make the mistake of saying Jenny Baca, Jenny Redell. It's hard for me to remember names, but we all know who Jenny is. And Jenny is, to me, will always be the girl that schooled me on the tetherball court. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jenny.
Thank you, Mayor. No, we do have video to prove it. Truly, I stand very humbly before all of you because you're all my dearest friends. You've all stepped forward to help make this happen. If it weren't for each and every one of you here today, this would not have been. You would not see the happy faces of the children running around. You would not see the parents looking for kids and the kids looking for parents and having fun. And you wouldn't see special needs children playing side by side. Students without abilities, disabilities. This is for everyone, every single person, any age. So I think, Lou, we've made a playground for everybody, including us. There is a lot of wonderful art in this park, and I thank all of the artists that stepped forward to help me make some of this happen. You'll find murals in the bathroom. You'll find murals in the sky. You'll find things on the ground. You'll find beautiful colors everywhere. It excites the people and it makes the children happy and they're proud to see it. And it makes them want to be artists and step forward to do things. And I think what is really amazing, I have so many incredible stories to tell you about the little boy who pushed through his family and handed me a quarter and said, "Here, this will help you build the park." I mean, he was this big. He pushed through his family and gave me a quarter. I still have it.
the little boy that came running through the park as soon as the gate opened, running as fast as he could, and his dad behind him yelling, "Wait, wait, wait!" He's gone. You can catch him. A little bit later, I hear, "Wait, wait," and I look up. There's that little boy running up the hill and the dad chasing him again. There's so many wonderful stories in this park. Why did I want to do this wonderful park for everyone? It's all Rotary's fault. They made me community chair, and I thought it was important to do something for the community. And not wanting to do something that's been already done by some other organizations, I wanted to do something different, something that would be from Rotary, to give to the community, because that's what we do. We give to the community in so many different ways. And Rotary has stepped forward to help make this, and I thank each and every one of the Rotarians that has been there for me when I said, "God, we're doing this event and I need some money to make this happen." And I'd get it. They're my family too, and I love every single one of them. Another group of people that has been immensely important to this project is Jay's team. Connie Peterson, John Finley, Charles Ferguson, and Diane Saunier. Thank you guys so much. Every one of you has put a serious thumbprint on this park, making sure it's safe for the children and safe for all families to come and play. I have a couple of special gifts I'd like to give. And if Lou, would you please come up and bring them up to the front, please? One is for, because I'm an artist, and that's what I used to do. And since I've had this whole playground to play in, I've been putting stuff everywhere. I have something that I've made for Governor Susanna, for Sandoval County. Laura, if you're still here, if you would come up. And for Jay Hart, because Jay has been a wonderful inspiration and a wonderful model for all of us. Governor Susanna, this is from me to you and from all of us from a park above, because we appreciated you stepping forward and helping us and being there from the beginning when we did the groundbreaking and the little children with the gold shovels put the shovels in the ground, and you were there to make this happen for us. Thank you, honey. Laura, will you please step forward? Sandoval County has been an inspiration to all of us, and when we were out in the streets on our knees begging for money and scraping the copper off of pennies, they stepped forward and gave us a substantial amount of funding. And Laura, I present this to you. Jay, if it weren't for you and all of your wisdom and all of your kindness and all of your guidance and all of your inspiration, and whatever I could dream, he could dream better. And then I'd dream something else, and then he'd dream something else. And it was just a really wonderful frenzy that we put together a plan to make this happen. I wanted to present this to you, Jay, for your outstanding service. This has been an amazing project to work on, and from all of you out there, you are so appreciated. The board of directors, would you please stand up? Because I think you need to be recognized one more time. Because if it weren't for you standing behind me and helping in every way, thank you guys so much. There's some other board members in the park that were former board members. Would you please stand up? When we first started a Park Above, there was only 3 of us guiding the wheel on this. And it was me as president, Earl Wade as vice president, and Dick Hart, who has now departed us and gone to be another Park Above. He was secretary treasurer. And from the 3 of us from Rotary, this is what we've made. Thank you all so very, very, very much.
Okay, so we're gonna cut the ribbon now. So I need help getting things set up to cut the ribbon. We're gonna do it right up here, and we're gonna ask folks to come up and join the mayor and the governor in cutting the ribbon. I would like the Park Above board to come up. Charlie, also come on up. Any of the children back there that we can bring up, bring the children up too. If they would like to come up and join the governor, please come up. And again, while they're setting this up, I just want to say again, thank you for your generosity, the relationships that we've built during this time in building this park. Everyone here, this park belongs to you again, and thank you again so much. Please, if you want to, come up and join us, cut the ribbon.
Stand right over here.
I'm not covering your I'm okay.
Come on in here, kiddos. I'm going to get the governor right in here. Watch out, I can get you. Okay, governor, come on up here. We'll get closer. And I'll see what kids, buddy, get your hand right here. Come in here and help me, okay? There we go. All right. We're going to do this on 3. Not yet. Not yet. Wait for me. Okay. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3. There, well, pull that side. There we go. 1, 2, 3.